call and let's discuss the Holy Bible, and if you have one, the Holy Quran, and come to an agreement about the Holy Scriptures and their true meaning. So tune in to a scriptural discussion with the Son of Man every Sunday at 12 noon, right here on TV 33, FM 88.1 WHBR, and Comcast Cable. You can call in live on the air at area code 313-868-4336, 868-0342, and 868-0351. Of course, the area code is 313. That's 313-868-4336, 868-0342, and 868-0351. And now let's go live with the scriptural discussion with the Son of Man.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, the Truthful, and the Most Just, I greet all of you once again with the greeting words of peace from the Lord of the worlds. Allah's Salam Alaikum. I want to say that if I was a man who would hold a grudge against you, Allah would not have chosen me. I wasn't born to walk around carrying grudges against people. I'm born to be the first, and I am the first new man that if a person wrongs me and they repent of it, and I can truly forgive them, because I don't wish to be enemies to people who are actually my brethren. All human beings on the earth are brethren. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught me that you're not civilized if you don't have the knowledge and wisdom of the human beings on the earth being a family. I mean, a man hurt his own family, you think that he has mental issues, and he does, because no one in their right mind would do that. I remember Prophet Muhammad said of the poets, he said that the poets are kin to the prophets. And that in their way of thinking, I don't know which one of the poets said it. He said, but the loss of any man or human being diminishes me. And so, you know, you have people that frighten you because they have learned that you can control a man if you know what he's afraid of. And every time he gets out of line, just threaten him with whatever it is he's afraid of. I want to take that fear off of you like Allah took it off of me. But I want to do it in such way that you will accept what I say. It does no good to tell a person, don't be afraid, if in their mind they got good reason to be. Do you understand? Most of the time you see a baby or something afraid of an insect or whatnot, you don't just tell them don't be afraid. You go and pick it up and say, see, look here. This thing ain't nothing. Right? So, there's an old saying, and I learned it from watching TV and watching people, in the movies who made a deal with the devil and tried to get out of it. It didn't work out too well for them. So they had a saying that the first rule in dealing with the devil is don't. Because the devil has authority to kill you if you follow him. So I want you to listen to me good. Because many of you who may be politicians, now this is on YouTube. So it's not like, that's the beauty of the internet. Don't nobody even have to know you checking it out. Huh? There you go. So some of the deals that you made with people that you know will kill you, some of those devils that you've been dealing with, that you done found out that their real agenda wasn't what you thought. But now you don't know how to get out of it. It's just like when Congressman Alan Simpson, I think that was his name, he said some of his Republican colleagues was telling him, I want out of this contract that I signed. I done signed this thing with Grover Norquist now and just couldn't see no way out of it. Do you understand? Why you think none of them speak out against these people? Because they are afraid. You don't have anything to fear now. The devil was given authority. He even said that to Jesus. Turn to the book of Luke. I'm not talking about no spook devil. I'm talking about the real devil that's been ruling the world. And you thought that the devil was white people, but the devil wasn't so much as white people. The devil was the mind that was given to white people. And now, because he has exercised dominion over everybody, now that mind has been transferred to everybody else. So now you got your own devils you got to deal with. Do you understand? I notice black people. I'm going to give you another, show you some language that you never thought about. What does the word debrief mean? Isn't that when people go, when for instance, when an agent, you've seen it on some of these movies, any of y'all look at 24? Okay, well, you notice when the man come back off of a mission, or something bad has happened to one of the agents, and he may have been kidnapped or something, and he got away, and before he can go to his family, say, well, come on, we need to debrief you first, right? Meaning, what happens when you get ready to get off of an airplane after you done landed? You get off, right? You deplane is right. You disembark, you deplane, you know, that means get off. Then what was on his mind, he got off. Now, you notice the word demon. You know, that's what they call those who serve the devil that ain't got, he's a little henchman, right? He ain't got the knowledge that the devil have, but he's a demon. Is that right? You notice the black man from many other places, they say, they don't say man, they say man. Is that right? And so if he tried to pronounce the word demon, what would he say? Demon. Is that right? Okay. Now, God made who in his image? After whose likeness? So the original man or mind that took possession of in the human brain, the original one was upright, like unto God. So, but something wasn't quite right in it. And so we began to seek out many inventions that just like anything that you don't have thorough knowledge of, when you deal with that thing or look at that thing, no matter how long you have been here, when it comes to that particular thing, you are immediately reduced to the level of a child. And you know how children are. They are very curious about things, and they generally are, their curiosity leads them into, oftentimes, into trouble. So God hath created or made man upright, but they have sought out many inventions. And as we go after the inventions, our upright state, we leave. And so one very wise scientist, his name was Yakub, he got the idea to place a corrupt mind in human beings. You know, one that knew how to lie. And you notice the Native American in the cowboy movies, they did not say that the Indian, you notice the Native American, when they talked about the settlers and the white people lying, they didn't say the white man is a liar. They, according to them, what we got was he speak with forked tongue. Huh? You know, like, you know, most of the creatures. Now, he may have been saying that, well, it's the serpent here. But he didn't say liar, because their word was their bond. If they gave their word on something, they kept it. But this was the first people that was made that were taught to give their word and don't keep it. They were taught to lie. Now, you can either be angry, which shows that you don't understand. Because whatever God does, he has his own reason for doing it. You may walk into a laboratory where some scientists are, and they may tell you, you can't come in here. You can get out of here. And they say, you go back and get your mask, get your, what you call, you know, you got to go through decontamination. How many movies you done seen with a big old beautiful clean room and everything and wasn't nothing in there but deadly diseases? Right? Okay. What were they doing? They were, in a lot of those movies you saw, they had a contagion that they didn't yet have a cure for. And it was wiping people out. It was wiping out a lot of people, like the plague, the bubonic plague. And so they had to culture it. That's why people who look at America and look at all of the filth and the wrong that goes on in America, ain't nothing evil you can think of that ain't openly or freely practiced in America. That wasn't for naught. God, in the book it says Babylon is fallen. When you look at a woman who prostituting herself and doing all kinds, just letting people use or whatever, they say she's a fallen woman. But what she needs is a good man that will take her and inspire her to be better. But you cannot inspire anyone to do better if you don't first instill pride in them. You know, people, they make all this hoorah over Jesus and Moses and David and Solomon. I mean, they make all kind of, ooh, Mother Mary, Mary was your sister. If any human being is divine, then all of us are divine, because we are the same family. All the prophets was to show you what was in you. I mean, it's not in you to become Jesus, but it's in you to be as he was. It is enough for the servant to be as his Lord. He's not greater than his Lord. He's not equal to his Lord, but it is enough for him to be as his Lord. You don't have to be a prophet to be a righteous man. You don't have to be a messenger to be a righteous person. You can be righteous and don't have to be no title at all. Righteous is sufficient. All you need to try to be is yourself. And you know yourself is a righteous person who does not mind submitting to the will of God. Now that's your true self. If that wasn't your true self, why so many people commit suicide? Because the nature in them has some kind of way convicted them of their own wrongdoing. Well, that means that all of us have the nature of the one who we come from. And we come from God. The original man is God. And that's no, you can't say that this person is made in the image of God and he's a man. God made man in his image after his likeness. Well, if he's the image, then God is the original man. That's not me twisting nothing. That's just me going by what we've been told all our life. And if God is not, I mean, I've never seen anyone refer to a horse or a dog or a cow or an insect or any creature on this planet as a being but man. As a species, we are beings, and part of our name is human beings. Well, who is God? He is the supreme what? Being. There you go. Now, I want to go over here to Luke, because the devil, he's the vicegerent. What is a vicegerent? It's one who rules in the absence, what? Of another. Is that right? Okay. If God is absent in your mind, who gets to rule? The devil. Is that right? Now understand something. Flesh does not rule anything. Flesh only houses the ruler. The ruler is the mind. Now look, I'm not a teacher who stands up and talk just to hear myself talking. I'm talking to you to, if I say something, you know, it's easy to teach people who ain't never been taught nothing before. I remember the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that Allah told him to tell me. Remember, he said, I have a message for you from who? Well, he had a message for me. He said, brother, you have the hardest job of any man that ever lived. I don't come to teach people who didn't know. I have to teach people who think they already know and been already taught by somebody. So by design, I have to argue with people. And if I'm not prepared to argue with people, and you know, you don't need to convert somebody who don't have no belief. Convert means to change. If a man already got a belief and it's false, he need to be converted. How you going to convert him if he's bigoted? How you going to convert him if he's seemed to be making what he think is progress with what he well, you know, now we got a problem, don't we? So it takes a mighty powerful teacher to straighten out a person who's justified to be nothing but a fool. Why? He who knows not and thinks he knows, and knows not that he knows not, is a fool. What's that another way of saying? He who does not understand and does not know that he does not understand. Huh? Let's put it like this. For it starts off, he who thinks he knows and knows not. He who thinks he understands and understands not, and does not understand that he understands not. Well, he's a fool. But he's justified to be a fool. Because generally that which people think they understand is when they done ran into somebody else who taught them that they trusted. And when a man does not understand, whatever you tell him, even if you didn't give him any understanding, but you told him something and substituted what you told him for understanding, he thinks he has some understanding. Because he really don't understand what understanding is. Most people think that whatever they can remember of what you told them, that's understanding. And then when you question them about what somebody told them, they'll quote what they was told, and then you say, yeah, but what does that mean? Well, what do you mean, what does that mean? It means just what it says. That tells you that they don't understand what they are saying. Do you understand? Okay. So, the devil told Jesus, now look at this. In the 4th chapter of Luke, in the 6th verse, it says, and the devil let's go to the 5th verse. It says, and the devil taking him up into an high mountain, showed unto him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time. And the devil said unto him, all this power will I give thee. Now, if you understand that knowledge is power, then you know that the mountain is the universities. Huh? I mean, you can go get up on top of Mount Everest. And you ain't going to see all the kingdoms of the world from Mount Everest. The earth is a ball. So you ain't going to see all the kingdoms from that mountain. But if you go to, let's say, Harvard, that's a pretty high mountain, right? They can show you every kingdom from the plant to animals to vertebrates, invertebrates, geography, geology, astronomy, all the kingdoms of the world. They can show you from that mountain right there. I want you to understand. I was told to come and speak to you with the words of God. That's what teachers do. They come and speak to you with the words of the authors of the textbook. They read a little, and then they talk a little on what they read. Right? That's called teaching. They want you to comprehend, like that song, Do You Hear What I Hear? I want you to hear what I hear. I want you to see what I see. So that it ain't my fault what happened to you after that. The only reason you want to be up over somebody is because you're not able. because you think being up over people is some pleasant thing, and it'd be nice to be able to have to tell everybody what to do, and you don't have to do nothing but look. Well, that's what you think. But Allah told me if I did not give you warning and something happened to you, then he was going to hold me responsible. And that's written for anybody that wanted to read it. That's why you notice you ain't never known me to miss a meeting. And as long as I was where I was supposed to be, when I was supposed to be there, then I have not failed in what he ordered me to do. If you don't hear me, he said whether they hear you or whether they don't. So this ain't about, can I get a crowd of people with me? He said whether you got one, or that's saying whether they hear you or don't, whether it's just one person there or whether it's a million of them there. Or 5 billion or 6 billion listening on one person, you give them the warning. Because he's going to ask you later, were not my messages recited to you? Yeah. So I'm reciting his messages to you. And the devil, taking him up into an high mountain, showed unto him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time. It wasn't at all of the time, it was at a particular point in time. You can see all the kingdoms now. And the devil said unto him, all this power will I give thee, all this knowledge. I mean, there's a whole lot of people that went through the school systems of the European. Those who we call European, the Caucasian. Didn't Mahatma Gandhi go to his school? Didn't Gandhi attend school in England? So a lot of people went to school, and you know, so it says, and the glory of them. The glory means the understanding of them, just like the glory of a light is the brightness of the light. One glory of the sun, one glory of the moon, another glory of the stars, and stars differ one from another in glory. You've read that. You know that meant brightness, right? Okay. Now, for that is delivered unto me. See, but you didn't know what the devil was meaning when he said that was delivered unto him. Well, you seen UPS? Any of y'all ever got a package from UPS or FedEx or the mailman? They do what to the mail? They deliver the mail. And if you standing out there on your porch, what will they walk up to you and do? Give it to you, huh? Or you say, sometime you say, oh, you don't have to put it in the box, let me have it. Is that right? And will they let you have it? Let us make man in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion. You ain't got dominion if you ain't got knowledge of how to control that thing. All this was delivered unto me. That's what the devil said. The first man, Adam, was made a living soul. He was natural. The jinn. The devil. Now understand something. We ain't talking about no, we're not talking about no black man making black man. That ain't, you know, the black man is the original man. But when you start talking about the brown, the yellow, and the white man, now we making men. Do you understand? We making some from ourselves. And let them have dominion. Huh? You know? So you can call them Shem and Ham and Japheth. Still brown and yellow and white. Make no difference. So now, he that is greatest among them, let him be what? Well, what makes one man greater than another? What did Jesus say? You were willing to rejoice in John's light for a season. I have greater witness than that of John. The one who don't have as much knowledge can't serve the rest. Who been serving the rest of the people with bombs and guns and all that? White people been doing that. The very one that's been mocking his own daddy because he saw his daddy drunk. Yeah, we've been drunk walking around here. I mean, you know, a drunk man served to cut himself. A drunk man beat up his own children, beat up his own family. He come in the house and cuss his wife out, beat her up. That sound like us. His community's all tore up. His house, he tears his house up. We tear up our community, don't we? Now, but I ain't going to go there. That ain't what I want to talk about. But I'm trying to show you we made the word to have many meanings. So, the devil, he said all that authority was delivered to him. Yeah, but the next question is, how long? 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. So he had 6,000 years. And during that 6,000 years, he was told that whoever of them follow you, you ain't got no authority over my servants, but whoever of them follow you, I will certainly fill hell with them all. Huh? So the first rule in dealing with the devil for the past 6,000 years was, don't. Huh? Now, if I say something that you think is wrong, just press *6 on your phone or whatever. Call 313-868-0351, 868-0342, or 868-4336. But don't call up here with no foolishness. I already know you're not equipped to even have this conversation with me. You don't know what I know. You can't. Because I'm the only one that knows this. I wasn't joking when I said I'm the first new man. The scripture calls me that. It says, from twain, making one new man, meaning one new mind. Okay. So listen, so you can become like me. Natural and spiritual. In one. Okay? Now, since he was given dominion for 6,000 years, he exercised that. Now, how do you know his dominion has expired? What sure way do you have of knowing that his dominion expired? You notice they have a saying that in the I don't know if it was W.E.B. Du Bois or Booker T. Washington. Which one of them said power concedes nothing without a demand? You don't have to raise your hand. Just tell me if you know which one of them it was. It might not have been neither one of them. Frederick Douglass might have said it. I don't know. But I've heard that saying. Was it Frederick Douglass? All right. Now, he said power concedes nothing. To concede is to give in, give up. You ever known a bully to stop being a bully on his own? Or did somebody put something on him once and it broke him up? Is that right? That was the demand that he better quit, huh? Is that right? Okay. Why is it that back at the, I don't know, it's been so long ago now, either the late 60s or early 70s, that they abolished the draft. You couldn't get no letter from the President of the United States no more ordering you to go and report for the draft. He can try to order you to do something. He ain't got no authority to order you to go to no draft. If you go now, the only thing that he gonna say when God question you is I didn't have no authority over you. I just called you and you obeyed me. Do you honestly think that I would be able to teach what I teach in Mississippi or any other place, being a black man, if the white man had any authority to kill me? If he was still the ruler, he told the messenger. He said, Elijah, this was back in the early 30s. He said, Elijah, if you had come teaching this 20 years ago, you'd been shot outright. He said, but it's time that your people hear this. You hear any white folks come in here telling me that I can't stand up here and they'll kill me or they'll do this to me? You ain't gonna do nothing to me. And you ain't gonna do nothing to nobody else that stand up to you. He got no authority to kill you now. If you made a deal with him, all deals are off. You don't have to be afraid of them now. You better fear Allah. He told them that 6 days you shall labor and do your work, but the Sabbath day shall be a holy day to the Lord. In it, don't you try that. And whoever is doing any work in the Sabbath day, you shall surely lose your mind. A man who done lost his mind don't have no understanding, do it? Well, the man that wanders out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of what? The dead. You shall surely be put to death. Oh, you thought I was going to say, go kill you, huh? No. The flesh ain't the guilty one. God is just. You remember when he was sending the You know, it's like any doctor. Any doctor that, a surgeon, I should say, when he goes to operate on you for cancer, what will he do first? He will take biopsy, won't he? He will do tests on you, right? What is he doing tests for? First, he want to make sure that you have cancer if that's what it is, right? The next test he's doing, he wants to find out if it is operable. Man, will it do any good to try to operate on you? Because if it won't do no good to try to operate on you, a reputable doctor, regardless to how much the operation pay, he will say it won't do no good. We will try to just do, you know, give you something to keep you comfortable. Huh? Because it's gone too far. Right? When the angels went to Sodom, they were under express orders that if they found any righteous there, you spare that place. Huh? But the one righteous man that they did find, which was no accident, God sent him to him, knowing what that righteous man was going to do. Lot met him and told him, no, you can't stay out in the streets now. So you come on in my house, and then in the morning you can go on your way. Lot knew what kind of place it was, didn't he? Now just think, if they had a respected Lot and just say, well, him is his guest, you know, that's his business. They want to go in there. But they couldn't rest. Here they come. Bring them men out here. We want some of that. Yeah. And said, we want to know him. Lot offered him his daughters, didn't he? Then they threatened Lot. The men acted then. You know, Lot was the only one that could see. I mean, you know, you heard the old saying, you can't see the forest for the trees. Do you know what that means? In order to recognize truly the forest, you need to get outside of it and look at it as a whole thing. That is an objective view. Do you understand? Once you get an objective view, that in a helicopter or something, you say, boy, that forest is vast. Huh? You can even see where it ends. But if you're inside of it, you don't have an objective view. So you are blind to what the forest really looks like. Do you understand? For the forest ain't just one tree, it's all of them collectively. Okay. So if you shoot the helicopter that's telling you, or the person who's up there looking at it objectively, if you shoot them, then you blind from that point on. The angels pulled Lot inside and closed the door and smote them with blindness. They were blind to the fact that those men, you better leave them alone. They were blind to you know, you can do wrong so long that you start thinking wrong is right. There was a time in America to take a black man out and hang him on a tree wasn't no more than hanging a dog on the tree. And people used to come out and have picnics and make an event out of lynching us. So don't tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about. But now, I mean, you hear some stuff over there talking about somebody calling themselves Muslim and kidnap some women and girls and talking about selling them into prostitution and stuff. You blind, man. Over there in Africa. Where's that, Nigeria? You got people who go and like that bombing in Boston. Them young men who set them bombs off. And you stick Allah's name on that. When Allah told the angels that no, you don't. If you find any righteous there, you spare it. Now, since ain't nobody righteous, because ain't nobody understood the scriptures yet, well, then ain't none of y'all got no business trying to kill nobody. Let him among you who is without sin, you blow the first bomb up. You ain't gonna order me to go kill nobody. The only one who have authority to order anybody to kill somebody is Allah. And the one that he choose to represent. Even by their own mouth, they said Muhammad was the last prophet. And they right. He was the last prophet. Ain't no scripture came after Muhammad. Well, okay. Well, who are you to be out there ordering people to go kill somebody? You think Muhammad didn't know what he was doing when he told them when he went back and conquered Mecca? Anybody that say, La ilaha illallah Muhammadan Rasulullah, don't you take his life. He said, you give them that option. Anybody that say, ain't no God but Allah and Muhammad is his messenger, you spare their life. Well, there wasn't no more killing after that then. If that's all they had to say, they were satisfied. Do you understand? Okay. No messenger of God wants the people killing each other. That's not what Allah sent his messengers for. Messengers of God don't come to kill you. They come to stop you from doing that which will make God have to do away with you. Even the government of America don't allow its citizens to go kill each other. Even if you see the man commit a murder, they tell you, no, that you don't take the law into your hands. The government do it, right? Well, what make you think that you can take God's law into your hands? That's not that's not for you to do. He told you, thou shalt not kill. That's why I told you, anybody, whenever you see a true Muslim coming, you know you ain't got nothing to fear from him. Only thing I want to kill is your foolish, the foolish thinking that you have. As far as hurting you, if that's what I come here for, I'm late. Don't you think it's been enough people shot? Enough blood done been shed? Don't you think so? The people who put us in slavery and murdered so many black people in slavery, They didn't get away with that. Didn't you tell me 620 something thousand white soldiers died in the Civil War? You get it back. You get it back. But look, if I get shot down after what I said, then you know, hey, I guess he wasn't right. Don't be out here call yourself going to war over somebody shooting me down. Because if Allah had not pleased, they wouldn't have did it. They couldn't have did it. And if I'm standing up here pretending to be a representative of God when I'm not, then I deserve to die. But if I am his representative, I ain't worried about nothing about you planning on me. You better be worried about what I got planned for you. Because the time is coming when if it ain't me that say it, somebody gonna say it. Bring all those mine enemies that would not that I should reign over them and slay them before me. It's written, they hated me without a cause. Pretty soon you get tired of people mistreating you and you ask them why you're doing this, and the only answer they can really give is because they think they can. I'm getting tired of that. Just letting you know. And when you finally, you might want to say, well, hurry up and get tired, nigga, and let me see what you can do. Yes, them is famous last words. Do what you can do. And then when it's done, it's, oh my God. Oh, okay. All right. But, so, his time to order you around, you know, even if a person, if you got a lease on something, and that property is yours for that amount of lease time. You do what you want with it. To a point. You know, just like Allah ain't gonna let you destroy the earth. He let you have dominion over the every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, over the earth and every creeping thing. He didn't give you dominion over the sea. Now all this stuff this poison and stuff you burying in the ground from your nuclear waste and all that stuff, I'm ordering you to stop. I told you to stop. All this pollution you dumping into the air, I'm telling you, stop. Because you do have technology that will stop you from having to do that. The scripture says the time has come that thou shouldest destroy them who destroy the earth. You better go and read Revelation. Now I want you to remember that I'm not here to do you harm. I'm here to wise you up so that you will stop harming yourself, and that people who would want to do you harm, you will be able to see them and avoid the harm they're trying to do you. An enlightened mind will save your life. Now, I want you to, Wednesday, one of the little brothers was in here, and he He told me that the messenger didn't say some things. And, you know, I knew that if he had those tapes, the theology of time, he knew he was lying. Minister Eric, for if he had them tapes, then he heard the same thing I did. You know, we know Muhammad was from Arabia. So there wasn't no point of argument to say that the messenger said Muhammad was an Arab. He didn't even have to tell us that. We revealed it in Arabic Quran. Well, Muhammad was an Arab, but he was a white man. Bilal was a slave, a black man, an Ethiopian slave. Muhammad set him free. If Muhammad had been a black man, he wasn't going to set nobody free. He'd have been a slave himself. Now I want you to listen, and then you be the judge of who was lying and who was telling the truth. Let's see if I can find it now. I might have it here. Let's see.
I'm the Muhammad of your Holy Quran. That's the Muhammad that was here near 1400 years ago. I am the one that the Holy Quran is referring to. The Muhammad that was here 1400 years ago was a white man. The Muhammad that was here 1400 years ago was a white man. The Muhammad that was here 1400 years ago was a white man. The Muhammad that was here 1400 years ago was a white man.
All right, now let's move along. Yeah, that's you know. Remember I told you I don't say things that I can't prove?
Son of man.
Oh, excuse me. I forgot to unmute the phone. You remember I told you I don't say things that I can't prove? If I tell you you are a liar, see, it's no way that he could have that tape that I played. He said he got the tape. Then when I said that Muhammad was a white man, he didn't have no business doing nothing but saying, yes, that's right, the messenger said that. Then he turned around and said, the messenger said he's an Arab. He didn't say he's a white man. Lying. And I called him a liar. Didn't I? Did he say he wasn't lying? Did he get offended because I said he was lying? It's hard for a liar to get offended when you call him one. Huh? And then, he also said that the messenger said Master Farad Muhammad was coming back. That tape he played didn't say nothing about Master Farad Muhammad, did it? He said God will return. Didn't he say that? He assumed that the messenger meant Master Farad Muhammad. Well, let's see here.
Let's see if that's what he meant.
I'm not turned down on anything that I ask God to do for me. That is reasonable. I can't stop you from dying. That's nature for us to die. None come to stay forever. Regardless to Moses' goodness and walking and talking with God, he couldn't stay here. You don't find where that Elijah died at, but he died. None come to stay forever. Allah did not create the heavens and the earth, and man owned the earth to live forever.
I'll let him finish telling you why in a minute. He said, it would not be a beautiful heaven and earth if the same. I'll tell you why that he said it in a minute.
He didn't do so himself. So if the first God died, we don't see no face of him, only his work. How do you expect to live forever yourself? Death was made for us. Not that it come by force of itself, but it was made for us to take us after we have exceeded the law of nature, the natural things in which we were made. Then death is the alternative. So that the God who created the heavens and the earth, he didn't intend for the same people to be here always. It would not be a beautiful heaven and earth if the same ruler rule all the time.
Why did he say that? He said it would not be a beautiful heaven and earth if the same ruler ruled all the time. See? Now all these so-called people that know so much, I ask a question, and the only one can answer it is me. I'll give you a little hint. He said, well, he taking it from my brother and he taking it from me. He said, well, if he taking it from the Indian, let the Indian fight for his own. He said, one thing I could bear witness with the white man, the Indian wasn't doing nothing with it, but hunting and fishing. And if he was going to come here and take it away from him and build up a great country like this, I say he should have come here a long time before he did come. And then he said, and not that I said that I hate the Indian for their loss. He said, but he was not smart enough to keep his home. So he let a stranger take it from him. He there didn't mean, the second he wasn't talking about the Indian. If he wasn't smart enough to keep his home, then, you know, like any parent, if your parents see one child taking some tools and taking some resources that they have and beginning to establish business and establish something with it, and he look at the other one just squandering it away, which one you think he gonna let wind up with the resources? The one who finna do something with it, right? So he, God, let him take it away from them. You understand? You don't do nothing on with God's earth that he don't let you do. Don't make no mistake. People do something in your house that you don't let them do. I didn't hear you. All right. Just don't get big-headed about it. Just remember that somebody let you have this. But you got big-headed. He take it from whom he please, and he give it to whom he please. But to answer you, the Native American had got him a system that he was pleased and satisfied with. I guess you would call them all conservatives. Conservative means slow to change. And if it hadn't been taken from them, they'd still be here, more than likely doing the thing they was doing. Because they didn't have the mind that was in them was satisfied. And when you're satisfied, you don't look for nothing else. Do you understand? So it wasn't time to be satisfied, so Allah gave it to somebody who was ready, who was not satisfied. And that was the Caucasian. Now, God didn't intend for the same ruler to rule all the time. What that mean? You'll notice, as a child, you are taught that lesson. You went from a clot to a lump, an embryo, to a fetus, to a newborn, to a toddler, to a child, to a teenager, to a young adult, to a mature adult. And you just kept on changing. But many people, even though their bodies were changing, their minds were staying the same. And as long as you have a mind that is satisfied with the earth and everything in it, you're not the one that, you're not going to last. You're not going to be here in this universe. Because the universe is out there waiting on somebody who got sense enough to know that you can't fill up your brain. But what you're doing satisfied. And you squabbling over a little grain of sand here. What is the earth in relationship to the universe? It's not even equal to a grain of sand. And you around here squabbling over who gonna be in charge of it. Got this whole big universe sitting up out here. It's enough planets out there for us to have 15 planets, 20 planets, 50 planets apiece if we want it. Each individual. And you here squabbling over nothing. And over what color each other is. I don't belong here with you. You belong with me. And if you don't start thinking like me, you soon ain't going to be thinking at all. It's just like the caterpillar and the butterfly. They are the same creature. But he reached a point where you either going to change or you going to die. Every one of you, you either going to change or you're going to die. And your money ain't going to help you. Your false religions are not going to help you. You heard the messenger say, gods have died. But let me let you finish hearing him.
You say, well, how you going to prove that, Muhammad, that God don't live and rule all the time? Yes, God lives and rules all the time, but not that same God. We are not under the direction of the first God in question. No, he's dead. But another one grows up a little wiser than that faith. And it comes down today whether that the wisdom of man, when I say man, I'm talking about black man.
Now, the wisdom that they saw in me don't have no end. I'm the black man that he was talking about. So now, you don't have to believe it. You ain't never got to believe it. Your idea of God is some spook, something that you done made up. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad understood that gods have died by the definition of God that's in the scripture. Not the stuff that you've been told in the church and all that, in the mosque and the synagogues and all that. Them people don't know what they worship. You can tell that. That's why they started naming the religions that they had after the men who brought them the teachings. Talking about the Mosaic law. Yes, the law came through Moses, but it didn't come from Moses. It came from the mind that Allah created in Moses. Moses didn't know nothing to say to Pharaoh as long as Pharaoh had been his only teacher. Just like me, I didn't know nothing to say to white people as long as all I had was that 12th grade education that I got from white people. Well, I looked like standing up trying to argue with him. I knew I couldn't argue with him. I got everything I got from him. So I was just breezing through the world. Very dissatisfied. Because every time I tried something that seemed to make other people so happy, I got bored. You know, I used to fake it, like I was enjoying the party and all that kind of stuff. I hated parties. I mean, I saw so much hypocrisy, I didn't realize that I was just showing disdain for the hypocrisy. People standing up, 1 minute they grinning with you, the next minute their back is turned, they talking them down and all that kind of stuff. That's the kind of world this is. You say, why'd you say that? Oh, I was just trying to make that nigga feel good. You know, that's why I tell people, I don't want to hear all that. Be coming up here telling me how much you think about me. I know better. I'm not here for that. What do you think about Allah? The truth that I'm bringing you. I worship the truth. Make no mistake. My God is the truth. You'll be surprised what you can do when you know the truth of how to do it. Never pick a fight with somebody who got more sense than you. Because if they choose to, they could really do you harm. But wise men never use the truth to try to harm anyone. That's part of the law. As you would men do to you, do ye also unto them. So I can fuss with you and go on. And, you know, one day it's going to have to happen, but it ain't going to be no great day. No glorious day, I should say. It's a great day, but it ain't no, it's a great and a dreadful day. But, you know, that's something that my conscious mind would never do. So it was put on automatic, like the part of your brain that tells the heart to beat, and that tells, you know, that is conscious at all times. You know, the brain don't sleep. The body rests. The brain is always active. Never sleep. He neither slumbers nor sleeps. Just like the earth is a ball, just like our head is a ball. In the same way that activity, that lightning, that electrical activity is steady going on in your brain all through the surface area of your brain. It look like little small lightning bolts, just flashing all the time. When you go out in space and look back at the earth, it's the same way. The earth is listening to its Lord now. Oh, you know, you can believe me or not. Yeah, that's up to you. Suit yourself. Now, you've heard the messenger tell you that God lives and rules all the time, but not that same one. The scripture says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. He called them gods that the Word came to. You know, that's why I was telling the brother that the messenger said, yes, God will return. He said, but he didn't say Master Farad Muhammad. He said, God will return. And, but this brother, the first mistake he made was not respecting, I mean, since you wasn't around when the Nation of Islam was here, then why would you disrespect one of the founding fathers? I was there helping. I mean, that's equivalent to some congressman or some person in America here, if George Washington or Thomas Jefferson or any of the, John Hancock, he wasn't no senator or nothing. John Hancock was just another settler over here, as far as I know. But he was one of the founding fathers of America. Now you're going to come up and try to tell him what it was all about? And he was there and you wasn't? That's how that Eric Muhammad sounded. I don't even know if he was born when the messenger was here. But I was there. You heard about the fish being brought in. I carried the fish door to door. I carried the Muhammad Speak newspapers. You don't have nothing to do with who's leading the Nation of Islam, that one had to be there when the messenger was here, or he's not even in the running. Because the messenger said this teaching would rise a powerful son of truth. He said, I alone Allah has raised up to teach a dead man. And I'm that dead man that he was raised up to teach. At least I'm not dead no more, but I was. Now he straightened out that thing. Anybody say I'm twisting something? Okay. Now, let's see what the messenger said about the Master Farad Muhammad. Coming back. Let's see here. I want to make sure that we get everything right, so we don't want to. Let's see here. Y'all give me a minute. Let's see. I think I got that. Let's see. I think this is it here.
I understood what he was referring to. And so he said, give the little baby milk. He said, when I'm gone, he said, then you can say whatever you want to about me. And that was about it. And he named all of my family Muhammad. He says to me that he had been studying for us what he meant to teach us and to reform us for 42 years, he says to me. And that his father, he says, I should let the world know these things, what he said to me. And as I never have went too much into his birth and into his the sayings of what took place, so I am going to tell this. I intend to give a full description of it on the 26th of next month in Chicago. Give it in details. But at this time, I can say this, that he told me that his father wanted a son that would go and search for the lost people of our kind. He said they had it in the Quran, they had it in the Bible, scriptures, that there would be a lost remember at the time of the resurrection, and that they had to find that one because
the messenger was very careful not to say too much as about he knew that I was here. So he started off saying lost people. Then he said he knew about a lost member. Remember, he said he was lost. Now he's found. The FBI and their counterintelligence program was, they knew the messenger was trying to find and raise the Messiah, which is who I am. And they had a counterintelligence program to try to stop that from happening. And like Herod and them, they was trying to kill all the babies that was a certain age. You know, the babies. And so Joseph and Mary was told by the angels, Joseph, the wise man, was told, don't you go and back and tell Herod where to find the baby. He don't want to pay homage. He wants to kill the baby. I remember this brother asked the messenger a question. He said, "Dear apostle, are the 10,000 angels here among us?" The messenger said, he said, "Yes, brother." He said, "But no one is going to point them out to you because they are men." He said, "and they could be killed." And this is what people didn't understand. Not just 10,000, it's 144,000. Remember what Paul said? For me to be absent from the body is to be what? That go for all of the messengers of God. All of them are present with me. All the holy angels are with me. Right there in my head. How you think I'm able to teach on so many things and break it down for you and connect it to the scriptures and connect it to your songs and all of that kind of thing? Where do you think I'm getting that from? If you say I'm making it up, let's see you make up some. And make the scriptures and everything else bear you witness. So, you listen to the messenger. I mean, it's good that you see him talking there. So just listen to what he has to say. And soon you will hear him tell you, and you'll see him tell you that he's not looking for Master Farad Muhammad to come back in. Master Farad Muhammad told him, he said, when he left, he said, "You don't need me anymore." The messenger said, "Oh, yes, I do." But Master Farad Muhammad, the messenger acknowledged that he was God in person. Allah was speaking to him through that man. And if Allah said, "You don't need me no more," what that mean? That's the end of that. I done did what I came for. It's written, "Behold, I will send you Elijah." God appeared in the person of Master Farad Muhammad and raised and sent to Elijah. And he said, before the coming of the great and dreadful day of who? The Son of Man is the Lord of the Sabbath day. So you ain't no sense in you looking for Master Farad Muhammad to come back here. Master Farad Muhammad ain't coming back here. To do what? Be insulted by you like you're doing me? Because, you know, people age, you know. And when he took that picture, he was 50, I was told. So you are... You're looking for 100-some-year-old man to come back to you, huh? You lying. That's why you come in here cussing at me and swearing at me. Because you expecting God to come. To do what? Throw you into hell for pretending to be a Muslim? Muslims don't curse and swear. How do you fix your mouth to praise God in prayer and curse men after you get through praying? You are a liar. The hypocrites are surely liars. And what you need to do is take in what I'm saying and repent. Now listen to the messenger some more.
It did not give the location. He says his father wanted to make a son that was would be able, pardon my language, to go and search all the civilizations of the earth to locate this people. And when he finds them, he would be able to teach them and make a disciple of his own of them, to teach them, and try and get them together and return them again to their own people. And so he said he was that man, and his father, first child, was a girl. And so he smiled and he says he had to make another try for me. And he said that his father was darker than us that he was talking to at the time. So he's a real dark man. He was still alive. And he said, this is the way that this took place. He says, and now, he says, I'm here, and I want you to know, he says, I love you, and my father made me for you, and that we want you to know yourself, and put you on to your own kind. That is what that he taught, and that of us, we found out for being away from our people, and that we was unqualified now to mix with them because they were Islam people and we were not, and that we didn't even know who we were. And so that was true, and that was easy to get over for us. And I figured all of this, and I talked to my people and been teaching them the same. But I never did go into this way and how this father trained them and what I already said about that. Because I feared my people would not believe, since that they believe mostly in spirit. God is a spirit or something like that, and it's not flesh and blood, he's not visible. And this I'm very slow about getting over to my people, but now they will just have to take it or leave it. These are facts. This is according to the Bible, that the Son of Man would come, and not the Son of a Spirit. And this I want to make clear to them and those who believe in the Spirit being God and not man. Main base of it all now is to show both who is God and he's not what they has thought he was. That he's a man and man is God. And so that is the way that goes. And in Chicago on the 26th of next month, I will go into detail of his birth and his childhood and his manhood and so forth. Scripture that is relating to this coming of God in man. And the Son, as the scholars know, it only means way was born from his father, and to go after the lost found sheep, the Bible call it, and Jesus made it in beautiful parables that he will search for the lost sheep and all like that. Those all now has been fulfilled, and this is it now that we are living in. And that my work from him is to teach my people these facts and to warn them and make them what they should be as they are children, as the Bible teaches from God, but they are lost in evil and practice evil, and that they must now forego evil and accept righteousness because they are preachers of righteousness.
Why did he disappear?
Well, that happened like this. After he had given to me what he wanted to give to me as the teachings and the work of preparedness of our people, then it was not necessary for him to remain here among us. So he taken his leave, as it is said in Quran that the people is not worthy that God remain among them, but he makes a messenger of that people. That through that messenger he will reach the people.
What y'all doing, brother? All right, I'm on.
People through him. And the Bible is verified the same. And so he left, and that he gave me hint about his return, but now there is just as much prophesied that he will return or he will not return, as there is of his returning. Because the Bible says he will send his angels and they will take care of the gathering of his people. I don't expect him to return in person, not like that, because there is too much for us to look forward to that he will not. His people. I don't expect him to return in person, not like that, because there is too much for us to look forward to that he will not. His people. I don't expect him to return in person, not like that, because there is too much for us to look forward to that he will not.
Now who was lying? Whenever you hear these people come talking about that they was following the messenger, talking about they looking for Master Farad Muhammad to come back, they lying. They didn't get that from him. He told them that Allah, he said, it is not that Allah, God, will remain among us in person. He said, but he raises up one just like himself. The Holy Bible teaches you that it says, I beheld one like unto the Son of Man. That's me. When they start ascribing an S-O-N to God, the Holy Quran says that's an abominable assertion. To ascribe a son to God. He said, he is one, and there is none like him. Well, what is that meaning? Jesus cleared it up. I and my Father are one. The mind and the body that is in are one. He is one. And I am the only begotten S-U-N of God. The only man that have the true understanding of the Holy Scriptures is standing here talking to you. That's me. As I was telling them earlier, you can't go off in the name of wanting to frighten people, killing up a bunch of people so you can frighten them, terrorize them. Even if you think that America or any nation have did you wrong, righteousness dictates that you repel evil with goodness. You repel evil with that which is better than it. You can't repel evil with evil. If you say you have a better way of life, then show us. You can't murder people and think that somehow that's going to convert them. All you doing is trying to keep fire going. Because when did murder ever convert anybody to be your friend? Huh? You can't will me no gun. And I used to be an armorer when I was in the Marine Corps. Worked on everything from the was that 105 recordless, that 105, 106 recordless rifle, to the M79 grenade launcher, to the M60 machine gun. I could fix any of them. That was my job. I don't even have to remember how to do nothing to none of them now. And don't want to remember. And if you know like I know, you will put them down too. That's a smoking gun witness against you with Allah. That you didn't pay him no attention. He said, thou shalt not kill. You said, I'm going to do what I want to do. How you know? Well, look at you. You got your gun. What do people do with guns? They kill people. That's what you do with a gun. You kill people. So we know what you want to do. Let's see here. No, that ain't the one I want. I'm going to close down and go back to this one. I want to show you what we're doing besides talking. We got a little more footage for the tire shop. So I want to take you to it, let you see it. And you all give me a minute. I'll get signed in here. And we will let you see some of the progress that's been made. Oh, I want to warn you who left some little snide remark about how long it's taken us to do this. If I was you, I wouldn't leave nothing like that no more. You make mockery of us. We wasn't doing anything, and then when we start doing something, then you want to tell us we're going too slow. Well, why don't you help us? You remember what the book said, the dogs is on the outside. People get a kick out of, get a kick out of looking at black people. They find where we ain't doing nothing and put that all on the news. Brother, why all of a sudden we have all this feedback and all this stuff? We're doing fine. Y'all ain't got to be messing with it. So they put that on the news, brother. Then when they see you doing something, they mock you. I'm going to pay you back every bit of that mockery. That's what, first I had to warn you. Yeah. You're going to be to the point where you can't, not only is you got to take pills and stuff to sleep, even them pills ain't going to help you sleep after a while. You better leave me and my people alone. You don't want to help me, you better leave me alone. I don't care who you are. You can be black as tar or white as snow. But if you don't want to help me, you best leave me alone. Keep your mouth off of me. So I haven't done you nothing. All I've did was stand up here and straighten out the lies that people been teaching to the people. Now I want you to go to the video, and I want you to stop it on progress video, drain repair phase 2. When you get it right there, let me know. Drain progress video, drain repair phase 2. Now let me know when you got it keyed up there. And you're at the top of the hour, so play the station ID too. Okay, play the station ID so we can get that out of the way. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Are the things you wish to hold on to? When you feel your life's in need of something new, you can make that for your heart. You can reach that shining star that the rain goes in. Can be short or long, it's up to you. You don't need anyone to sing your song. It won't be long what life was made for. Can't you dream it really courageous? Yeah, dream it might be contagious. Dream, that's what life was made for. So go on and dream, but are you afraid of just dream? Dreams are a mystery untold, but in a dream fulfilled, your life takes hold. Unfolds to your delight, work by day and dream by night. What you dream and what you write, the dream and the things in your life are really real. They give you sight and mind, find that heal. They're like a medley of songs, so come on and dream along. If it's like you meant to be, that's what life was made for. Dream. What are you afraid of? Dream. They'll unfold to your delight. Work by day and dream by night. What you're dreaming of, what you are you afraid of just oh, you got to do, said all you really got to do is do. All you really have to do is dance. Did you
I'm not to be okay, over expectation, never been expensive. I would owe you everything, your little desire. Anything I do. Of some true love in you. If I were a different man, I'd take you behind your back. I'd be so successful. I would still walk straight to there. I would hold a believer, the presence to let him know. I did it all, 'cause I'm so in love with you. I'm just a regular average, doing everything the best I can. But if I could, I'd give the world to you. I'd like to say that you did the first I saw you. That you were later, and nobody to let you go. Who might say that all I do is scream my life away? I guess it's true, 'cause I'm so in love with you. I guess it's true, 'cause I'm so in love with you. I guess it's true, 'cause I'm so in love with you.
So we could either sit around waiting on somebody to come give us something, or we could get up and start doing something with whatever little bit we do have. And we have elected to get up and do something with the little that we do have. The scripture says, if there is light in you, let your light so shine that men may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. You know, a man who ain't doing nothing don't need no help. In order to need help, you got to be doing something. So we are doing something. And I'm asking you who claim that you want to see black people get up, why you don't come on and help me? Why you don't go down there and put something in the Unity and Rebuilding Fund so that we can go on and do this? The account number is 1514 1314, and the credit union that is Michigan First Credit Union, and you can put it in either account. They don't let you just open up one account there. We had to open up. Even when you open up one account, they give you two, savings or checking. Don't make no difference which one you put it in, because there's accountability. If you think that we are not using it properly, all you have to do is ask any of them tellers up there what kind of account activity going on up there. They'll tell you. They got my permission to tell you. You know, I don't have to steal from you. Well, man, that'd be some manifest proof against me if I done stood up here and claimed to be the Son of Man and the earth is supposed to belong to me and I got to steal from you.
I ain't got to steal nothing from you. What you give me, I use it to do just what I said I'm doing. Now, if you don't want to help, okay, fine. I'm not going to. I remember the messenger said, you don't withhold your good because someone else withholds theirs. He said, you just do your part. Well, I'm doing my part. And soon as we finish with that, I'm going to find some other black people that want to do something sincere about it. And I'm going to find another person, and we're going to help them. And we're going to keep on helping each other. And if you don't want to do that, well, that's you. I agree with even the people in the Tea Party that say that they don't like homosexuality and all of that kind of thing. I agree with them. I don't like it either. Where I disagree with them is thinking that they can make some laws and enforce people to make people some kind of way obey God. You can't make nobody obey God. That have to come from them. That's what George Washington and Thomas Jefferson meant when, and the founding fathers meant when they said that the Congress shall make no laws respecting the establishment of religion. You can't establish no religion through no law you make. A religion is a thing of the heart. People have to have it in their hearts to serve God. You know where you establish religion at? You establish religion in the home. When you raising your children, that's when you got a chance to establish religion. Train a child in the way he is to go, and when he becomes old, he won't depart from it. Living proof of that standing here. Man, my mother and them forced me to go to church every time the door was open. You know what I said? You just wait till I get grown. I had to go to vacation Bible school. Everybody else going to swimming pool. I'm on my way to vacation Bible school with some of the rest of us unlucky fellas. At least that's the way I was thinking. But my mother did the right thing. One day I'm so happy that before she passed away, I had a chance to thank her. Because I told y'all this, but some people ain't never heard this. My brother and sister, they were twins, and one of the producers in Hollywood heard them singing, and they offered them a contract. And my mother and them wouldn't let them go. And most of my siblings could sing, and we had talents, And what's wrong with that thing? Most of my siblings, we all were pretty talented. So if they'd have got them, they'd have gotten me too. Eventually, just like the Jackson family and me. But my mother, she went and asked the Reverend, and he said, well, it's of the world. And she thought about it, and my dad left the decision to her. And she said no. And we had our mouth stuck out. We were poor as Job's turkey, man. But anyway, She said no. She said, and she told us, she said, no, that's of the world, and I'm not going to send you out. I couldn't even go to a movie. My mother wouldn't let us go to movies because there was a worldly place, she called it. And so, you know, we sitting up there, you know, I was, you know, like any other youngster that's in the public school system, I'm getting one thing at home, and out in the streets, I was, you know, I had to keep from being called a square, so I had to learn how to, you know, because, you know, once you got a reputation for being a square, then nobody want to hang out with you. And so, you know, it was rough. And so when I turned about 14, I got a job. Well, 13, actually. I got a job. I was in junior high school. No, I wasn't that. You know, sometimes I get them dates and stuff mixed up. Because I started working around the 9th grade. So I must have been about 14, 15. And I started buying my own clothes. Then I could dress better and all that. And got to high school. I just stopped going to church. I started going around to other churches, you know, wherever the girl I was liking was going. And so I was, every week I was liking somebody else. You know, like every other teenager, you know. But I got bored with things quick. You know, I go to church, I'd see somebody jump up shouting and going on. And then every Sunday, the same people get up and do the same little dance and do the same testimony and stuff. I said, what is this? And it was just like when, you know, I mean, the church I was in wasn't the sanctified kind, wasn't the Pentecostal. It was Church of God in Christ. And so I left that, but the teachings of the Bible that my mother had drilled into me from the time I was a little boy, I couldn't leave that. That was with me everywhere I went. And I realize now that's what made me feel uncomfortable everywhere that I would go. You know, I couldn't do a lot of the things because I had been trained differently. So I bear witness that you train a child up in the way that he is to go, and when he becomes old, he won't depart from that. I never had no aspiration to be no preacher. You know, but the Honorable Elijah Muhammad got my attention. Especially when he was saying he was the Elijah that the Bible talked about. Then the Bible all of a sudden got real to me. Before it didn't make no sense. You know, I mean, all that stuff done happened already. Gone. Huh? And now he put me back in it. And as I was listening to him, I found peace. I finally found some place where I felt comfortable, that I fit in. And just listening to him brought me peace. And just like many of you, just listening to me bring you peace. That's because this is where you belong. And so the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, you know, taught me that black people are the original people. And he gave me a new found respect for myself, for my mother, for my father. You know, I no longer resented my father or my mother. I felt bad about some of the things that I had thought about them. Me and my father became friends, you know, and I recognized the hell that he had been put through. you know, and yet he was a decent man. He worked and he took care of us. I never was. I didn't realize how fortunate I was to grow up with a father. For so many, even the president, he didn't have no father there. And his father wasn't with him when he was growing up. A lot of our young men didn't have that. And so I went to my mother one day. She was sitting up. I know she had to been thinking about one of the brother that was offered that contract. When I was in junior high school, he was about 3 years older than me, and so he was in high school, and he took some of that Purple Haze, that LSD when it first came out, and he never was the same after that. And they had to put him in Norwalk. And so I know that was waiting on her. One of my brothers drove off the freeway drunk, killed himself. And so she buried 3 of her sons, you know. And so I went to her, you know, one day and told her, just in case you having second thoughts about your decision, I told her you should not. I said, because if it hadn't been for the decision you made, I probably would not be the man that I am today. And I thank you for turning down that offer, especially after seeing what has happened to so many entertainers that were black, especially that were black, that wind up strung out on drugs and just gained the world and lost their soul. So my mother didn't give me over to that. And I thank Allah for that. And I thanked her more than once. And told her how much I appreciate it. All of you should remember everybody that ever cautioned you about doing wrong. For that was God speaking to you. And you ought to remember those people and thank them. A friend can only show their friendship toward you when you need one. It's when you need a friend. And you always need a friend when you about to do something you ain't got no business. Your friend is the one that tell you, you don't want to do that. That's wrong. That's your friend. And the one that tell you it's okay, you may think that's your friend, but you'll live to curse them. So I'm just, I want you to hear something else. It's just like you who run around here, you seem to think that your righteousness depends on you hating white people. Hating white people don't make you righteous. If you ain't careful, it will make you just the opposite. Haven't you ever noticed that however you feeling at the time is basically what determines how you conduct yourself? If you feel with hatred, I promise you, your actions and your deeds are going to be hateful deeds. Listen to what the messenger told me. Now I'm going to share the advice he gave me with you.
Over to my right here. Yes, sir. They are great scientists visiting us. If we had been here worshiping the space, the atmosphere for God, they would not have taken a seat over there. Yes, sir. So we are happy and honored to have these great scientists sitting over here to our right. We are happy, yes, sir, to be honored by them. That's right. We are glad that they are visiting us. Yes, sir. To know that the sun is the spiritual sun. Is vibrating itself, rising from the west. Yes, sir. I'm not saying that I'm trying to make them look small for coming here visiting us, as we're small. We are those lost and now found people that the Bible been teaching us all our life. We are those people. God has come to raise us up, to give for us a kingdom. Yes, sir. And the Bible says it is His own good will to do so. Yes, sir. He taketh the kingdom from whom He pleases and give it to whom He pleases. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we had no king. But He's now given for us a kingdom. Yes, sir. This represents the kingdom. Yes, sir. Sit him down over there. Crown him. Put him on good shoes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead. Get up, brother. And recognize your brother that was lost and is now found. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Get up. Give him a place that's ground. Come on in, brother. Hey, God. he was lost, but now he's found. He was dead, but now he's alive. Come on in, brother. Have a seat, brother.
Yes, sir.
Put him on the ground. This is the coming of God in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, and teaching to you and me that he had such earth as is written. Yes, sir. Now he has found her. Now what must be done? We cannot sit down. We cannot lay down.
Yes, sir.
We must get up.
Yes, sir.
And go to work.
Yes, sir.
Praise be to God.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We want to thank the Chicago white people for making it possible for us to obtain the country club, for making it possible for us to get in such position where we can prove ourselves worthy of that position.
Yes, sir.
We thank them. They have did us a great favor.
Yes, sir.
I don't think that we have nothing to do but to honor and thank them for putting us in such position.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, this is their house. And we are here teaching the truth.
Yes, sir.
They're not objecting to you teaching the truth. As we have white Muslims in America. And lots of them. We have them all over the world.
Yes, sir.
And they recognize and respect. That's right. Go ahead. You must recognize and respect it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Teach it. You don't disrespect people that is fine to respect you.
Yes, sir.
I remember the last time that I was out to the airport. They let me and my followers get on board. Now remember that flag is still flying over America.
Yes, sir.
Honor and respect the man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because he still has his flag. They put
that can be interchanged between them and us. In that way of respect. Yes, sir. We don't have to get up to try to make fun of them just because you have ruined yourself. And now you have ruined them. Yes, sir. That's right, Apostle. Just remember, yes, sir, that they show you respect after you have ruined yourself. Yes, sir, Apostle. Show them respect too. Yes, sir. Because when you didn't know yourself, you didn't respect yourself, nor anyone else. That's right. We used to disgrace ourselves and them too. That's right. Because we didn't know ourselves. Yes, sir. But now we respect ourselves and we respect them. Yes, sir. Praise be to God. Yes, sir. You go out there disrespecting the honor of this land. They are done as long as they're in power. Yes, sir. I think you will be showing disrespect for the high honor that has been conferred on you. Yes, sir. And me, by God. Yes, sir. Thank you, dear Holy Father. Yes, respect to everybody. Yes, sir. Everybody will respect you. Right. Right. Thank you. God give way to them to rule, then you honor their rule. Mm-hmm. That's right. As long as they're in power to rule, then respect them. Yes, sir. This I mean from my heart. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Everywhere we go, respect people, and people will respect you. Yes, sir. Yes, yes, that's right. Don't think that you are so great now just because God promised you the kingdom. Wait until you get in it. Yes, sir.
Before I let him continue, I want you to know this was the last time he spoke to the Nation of Islam. I don't care what you come up with as an excuse. His last words to us is what you're hearing right now. Now you tell me who's the hypocrite, me or you? A lot of you come in here and you enter into my class, which I let you come in. I let you argue with me. And I don't curse at you. Only thing I ask you to do is show respect. When I get ready to say something, you be quiet. I can't make you listen. But in my class, I can make you be quiet when I'm trying to teach. If you don't like that, then you should stay out of my class. Look at any time that I was having a discussion with someone that invited me someplace, and see how many times the person had to tell me to be quiet and let them talk. I could be in the middle of talking and they go to say something. I immediately shut up. Because I know how to conduct myself when I'm a guest in someone else's house. And I also know what I expect when guests come to my house. So that's what I do when I go to other people's house. I mean, I can tell a man he's wrong without cussing at him. Just like some of you try to condemn me because I showed respect to the national director of the Ku Klux Klan. I show respect to anybody that I want to get respect from. And only a fool says he don't care what people thinks of him. You call yourself a ruler and you don't care what people think of you? You're not a ruler. You don't even belong in position of authority when you don't care what people think about you. Because generally, people don't care what people think about them when they don't think nothing about people. And make no mistake, no messenger of God thought that people were beneath him. No messenger did. And neither do I. That's why when you call my cell phone, I answer it. When you call my landline, you get me. You don't get no secretary. I know how the game go when you want people to think you are more than, that's the way this world is set up. It's intimidating when someone answers the phone and you ask to speak to so-and-so. Well, who are you and what is this about? And he's busy right now. He's this. How did you get this number? Anything. I still have people. I don't care how many times I tell people, look, anybody want my number, you give it to them. I still have people that call me and ask me, can I give so-and-so your number? What you think? I'm just standing up here lying? If I didn't want people to have my number, I wouldn't have never gave it out in the first place. But how in the world I'm going to tell you that I'm your savior if you can't reach me? How am I going to prove that I really mean it if when I tell you that I love you and I care about you, if you can't call me? What about when you have a problem? I mean, people have problems sometimes. Sometimes people have problems that is a little more than they can handle. They need a counselor then. The book says his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor. I know that after a while, you won't have to call me. You about going to know what I'm going to say before you call me. If you've been around me long enough, I promise you, you won't have to call me to tell you what to do. You will know about what I'm going to say. That's why some don't call me, because they know what I'm going to say. And it's something they want to do that they know I'm going to say no to. So then I had to wind up asking, well, how come you didn't call me? Well, I thought I could handle it. I thought, no, you didn't want to call me because you knew what I was going to say. So, but listen to the messenger. Now you heard him. He said, respect everybody. He said, you don't disrespect people who are trying to respect you. Man, I'm going to look up in these Caucasian people's face and just blanket all white people when I see that some of them are Muslims. Some of them actually try to help us. President Obama's mother was white. Now, what I look like walking up to her, and I'm claiming to think so much of her son, and then spit in his mother's face? Master Farad Muhammad's mother was white. So where she stand with you? Sorry, I done growed out of that. You not sorry. I mean, you got your people mixed up. You know, I'm not colorblind. I'm not blinded by color. And yeah. You think because I see somebody in white skin that I don't see no good if they do something? No. And if I see somebody in black skin, you think I don't see no evil if they do something? I see clearly, regardless of what your paint job is. And even when I see you doing evil, I know how to separate the evil that you do from the color that you are. It ain't got nothing to do with your color. I don't hate the flesh of you. I hate the deed that you're doing. I don't go in the way of Cain. He shed his brother's blood simply because his brother was good and he was evil. He could have got just as much recognition as his brother was getting if he'd have did what his brother was doing. But since he could not take his anger out on who he was really angry with, he took it out on somebody that he could get away with it, so he thought. It's just like people got mad at Jesus, mad at Moses, mad at the messengers of God. They couldn't have been mad with him if the messenger of God wasn't telling him what God said. Who was they really mad at? Yeah, it's getting real now, ain't it? And you know what they said? They said, Lord, how long, holy and true, will you not judge and avenge our blood on them on earth? Why did they say that to the Lord? Why did they ask the Lord, how come you don't avenge our blood on these people? Because they were promised, vengeance is mine, and I will repay. That day coming, it just ain't right now. Right now, grace is given. The messenger said, he said, this one, he's learned that he could destroy Satan at once. But he's offering us a chance. And he said, I warn you to accept it and glorify him. He was talking about me. I don't care Look, you could have cussed me out yesterday. If you repent today, I don't care nothing about what happened yesterday. I heard somebody say, and it's the truth, that every day you wake up, God done gave you another chance to get yourself together. Now, it don't get no better than that.
You must remember that the ruler being dishonored and dishonoring people, he is dishonoring himself. My beloved brothers and sisters, God has already missed us. He don't mean for us to waste our time looking to see who can we make mark of. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Look and talk.
That's for those of you who want to take the teachings and act like you white people's judge. You ain't white people's judge. I'm white people's judge. And I'm your judge. And when you walk around here just steady talking about, look at the devil there, the devil this, the devil that. Mocking. That's not the reason you was taught who he is. You was taught who he is so that you would understand who you are. You full of his education. You full of his way of thinking. That's why you can't get black people to unite with each other, because they full of the mind of white people who hate black people, so naturally you hate black people. That's why you come in here and cuss at me. Well, I ain't did nothing to you. Didn't have to do nothing to you. I'm black. That's why you want to be called African American now. You anything to get away from being called black. You think I don't know what you up to? I mean, Africa wasn't always called Africa, but we always was black. So what was we before Africa was called Africa? What was we before America was called America? You mean we didn't exist before these two countries were named what they are? And if we did exist before then how come you calling us an African American? You can't rename me. I know who I am. I'm the Asiatic black man. I'm the Aboriginal man. Asiatic black original man. Aboriginal. And you ain't never gonna take my name from me no more. I don't care what skin color you come in. And if you don't hurry up and correct yourself, you ain't gonna come in nothing but dust. And I ain't got to do it to you. You gonna do it to yourself. And when that happens, then you will know who the Lord is.
I show people that if you will model disrespect, that God did not raise us up to repeat the same. We must show the world that we are a righteous people trying to sit up We don't want our people acting unrighteous. Right. That's right. Regardless to who acts unrighteous by us, we must not do so ourselves, since we represent ourselves as being righteous people. Right. We be righteous. Yes, sir. If we said, there goes the devil, big no, try and fight you after him if you say you are righteous. Show the devil that you are righteous, but right. Because he's watching you for certain. Since you said now you are righteous, then prove it. Yes, sir. And if you say he's not righteous, he will say he will love his neighbor. That's right. Gotta stop doing it. Yes, sir. Righteous, he will say he will love his neighbor. That's right. Gotta stop doing it. Yes, sir. We said, there goes the devil, big no, try and fight you after him if you say you are righteous.
I think you need to understand what he was saying. The white man brought us to the shores of America here. And he didn't bring no Negroes over here. He made them after he got here. And then after he made us Niggards, then he mocked us and said, hey, nigger. And he mocked us. And he said, no niggers allowed in here. No niggers this. Whites only. And he said, these is the most uncivilized people. Talking about us. As if we made ourselves that. He mocked us. Well, the white man didn't make himself the devil. We, the scientific community of the black man, made him that. So as the messenger said, we wasn't raised up to go around making mockery. You notice, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, Muhammad of 1400 years ago was a white man. He didn't say he was a devil. He said he was a white man. You thought that the terms were interchangeable, but they are not. You got to understand what you're saying. So I want you to remember, don't be going around mocking people. Learn this, know people by what they do. For everybody is being judged by what they do now, their works. Everybody is going to be judged by what they do. That's why the messenger, he was honest. He said there are white Muslims in America and lots of them. There ain't no such thing as a devil Muslim. Did you hear what I said? There's just Muslims. And they come in all colors. And that don't mean I'm preaching integration either. It's enough of the earth for everybody to have some of it. I got my own siblings. Bernard, James, Laverne, Yvonne. Got nephews and nieces. They my siblings, but they don't live in my house. But we are family. The whole human family can keep living just like it's living on this planet. Chinese, Japanese, Koreans, all of the people that's on the earth. I don't want to take your house. Keep your house. Just kick the devil out of my house. Remember that song, Joy to the World, the Lord is come? Let earth receive her king. Let every heart prepare him room. Well, kick the devil out and make room for daddy. They had a show used to come on and say, make room for daddy. Well, let every heart prepare room for what I'm here to teach you. Said, this people draw nigh unto me and honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. Well, let every heart prepare room for the truth that Allah hath given me to teach you, to make you one with us. So the messenger, he talks a little bit more. I'm going to let you hear it.
Show the devil that you are righteous, but right. Because he's watching you for certain. Since you said now you are righteous, then prove it. Yes, sir. And if you say he's not righteous, he will say he was not his maker. That's right. That's right. That'll stop you. Yes, sir.
He was giving white people a defense and was getting that chip off our shoulder. And he knew that one of us was paying attention. The one that was going to be the judge, that's the one that really counted. That's me. All you doing is mocking. You can tell you mocking because you act just like the one that you calling devil. If you acting just like him and you call him the devil, woe to thou, old man, whosoever thou art that judgest another and doest the same things yourself. For wherein you judgest another, you condemning yourself. That's in the book. That's why you were told, judge not that you be not judged. Condemn not that you be not condemned. As you listen to me, are you discovering something about yourself? How unrighteous you really are? So, time to change. You sitting up worrying about what's going to happen with white people or what they going to get. You better be worried about what you finna get. If Allah was pleased with any of you, He wouldn't have told me to warn you. So you get behind me, Satan. Tell you what, we'll continue this Sunday because I want the people in the television audience to see it too and hear it too. Now, anybody got any questions before I let you go? Then, if there are no questions, then we're going to call it a night for now. We got an old saying like that. We're going to call it a night. We're going to call it a day. When God finished doing this and doing that, it took longer than 24 hours, but He said now the evening and the morning was the first day. He called it a day. All right. See how you learn it? Even when I'm going off. All right. So all praises due to Allah. May Allah bless us all and keep us safe and in our right minds. And I'm so happy that some of you are learning that you don't need to come in here and try to argue and teach me anything. You need to sit there and be quiet and let me teach you. That's one thing that you have to do. I can't force you. You have to let me teach you. You see? All right. And let there be light. The sun can be up. You can shut your eyes and put blindfolds on and whatnot and shut the light out. You have to let the light in. So, darkness was upon the face of the deep scriptures of God. And the Spirit of God, the Spirit of truth, moved upon the face of the water. And God said, let there be light. And to those who open their ears and their eyes and listen, and there was light of understanding. All right. So you at the beginning of the creation and they realized. All right. So I'll look forward to talking with you tomorrow at prayer service. 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the same conference room. You all are welcome to join us for prayer service. Allah's Salam Alaikum.
Your conference recording has stopped.